Hello everyone and welcome to the Crestron Technical Institute. In this video, we will cover the audio configuration options in AV Framework using a DMPS3 4K model as an example. Options will vary on the model switcher and control system you are using. First, we will go to AV routing. There are normal input and output channels on this model, and the audio follows the video on the HDMI channels. If available on the equipment being used, we can go to the gear icon on supported channels and modify the audio paths. Other audio options are available in the System Setup menu of AV Framework. You can choose to control the audio output and adjust the output level if available. Next, we can cover the paging system trigger. Paging system trigger is meant for DMPS3 4K models and is not supported by every configuration. Notice that we cannot enable this until the configuration requirements are met. Let us discuss two example scenarios that we can utilize the paging system trigger option. Scenario 1 is if you are using a speaker or an analog output of the DMPS3. If we scroll up to Audio Settings, we need to configure this before we can enable this feature. In this scenario, you would set your controlled audio output to speaker, program, or analog depending on the model DMPS you are using. Since the model in this example does not have a speaker output, we can only choose analog. Scenario 2 is if you're using a display for the audio. If using a display, it must be one that supports volume control with feedback. In other words, a serial or IP control driver with feedback must be used. The option you pick for the display must be Yes with volume control under Audio Settings. After making these changes, you must save and activate the system before you can enable the paging system trigger. Now that we've activated our system, we can turn on the paging system trigger. Next, we will select the I/O port that we want to use to trigger, as well as the state. For behavior, we can choose to mute the audio or mute the audio except for the paging source. If we choose that option, we need to define which source is the paging source and the volume level. For more information on the topics discussed here, consult the specific AV Framework Operations Guide located on the product page under Resources. Once completed, save and activate the system.